Hello everyone, my name is NoodleHouse and we're back on Raging Loop. It's on the next day, after we've just had a nice little rest, after the feast that was yesterday. We still haven't reached the point where I have to stop recording, which is good, and I woke up at 5 in the morning. The window was still boarded up, so I couldn't see anything outside. All I could do was sit around and wait. Eventually I could hear the objects keeping me in get removed, and I was greeted by Yasunaga Aribe and Chiemi Serizawa. Those two actually survived. I met with Hara Makishima too. Her face was pale and she had bags under her eyes. No one here looked healthy anymore, but she was beyond even that point. She'd gone completely meek too. The defiance from yesterday was gone, and she was just letting Yasunaga guide her. She's lost another friend after all. We arrived at the dining hall but found no one there. The door was unlocked, so that was a bad sign. It was Kanzo Makishima's place all over again. Mom should be sleeping upstairs. With that knowledge, I opened the door. What if she was attacked? Even if she wasn't, considering her state yesterday, it wasn't unlikely she did something unthinkable, such as suicide. However, I soon found out my worries were for nothing. Kari-san was standing all alone in the dark dining hall wearing an apron. The fact that she wasn't doing anything but standing was just eerie. Oh my, good morning. She turned around and greeted us. Her voice was the only thing calm about her. Her eyes were bloodshot and signs of malnourishment were all across her face. Her faint, forced smile made her seem on the verge of collapse. She completely failed to acting normal. Her heart was probably swirling with panic and sorrow as great as yesterday. Everyone could see her. Everyone here could see that. Fuck. Words. Mom, everyone's hungry. I'll make food so you just go rest. Huh? But I can do it myself. Oh, I actually cook for myself, so I know what to do. After they volunteered to support Kari-san, I thought about what purpose I could serve her. Let's go. And called to Haru-chan before going outside. She came with me, but wasn't saying a word. During yesterday's feast, she had a fight with Kari-san. The woman had voted for Haru-chan due to her change in attitude and failed an escape attempt, and I couldn't blame her for that. Considering her personality, I imagine that the exchange had been extremely intense. That was why getting her out of the dining hall was a good move. Problem was, we didn't really have anything to talk about. This was made worse by the hostility she'd shown me until just recently. According to Mochi, that was a product of her affection towards Yasunaga-kun and the drama surrounding him. Normally I playfully give her a hard time about that kind of thing, but it would seem in poor taste considering the situation. She was staring daggers at me. Maybe I just had to ask her. Aramakishima-san. What? I'll be frank. Are you a wolf? No. She didn't hesitate at all. Not like that meant anything. You don't believe me? Then Takumi will check. That'll show you. Are you saying that despite knowing? Huh? Knowing what? If he were alive, he'd be the one looking after Kari-san in the dining hall. Yesterday he went there first thing in the morning, with Kari-san in her current state. That was all the more reason for him to be there, but now he's missing. No way, that's just... We'll go check to be sure. Lead the way. Okay. Taiba, are you awake? Harry knocked the door and tried to open it, but it was locked, meaning it wasn't touched. Tai-san came out soon after that. She looked pretty displeased to begin with, but upon seeing me she displayed outright disgust. What are you doing here? Sorry, Kari-san isn't well, we needed more people. Where's Takumi? We're going to check on him. I see. Her gloomy expression told me she'd realised what might have happened. She said she had to prepare, so we excused ourselves. Please ask if you need anything. Oh yes, of course. She shut the door on us. You're nice to all women, aren't you? What the hell is she saying? Being considerate of elders and women is the gentlemanly thing to do. Milady. Is that how you feel about Chieni? I like her quite a lot. I like her quite a lot, even. Please don't. I feel so bad for Ni-chan. Ni-chan? Yasunaga-kun, surely. What do you mean by that? Yoshi-kun and Mochi are gone. Kari-san and Chieni are all he has left. Also, she's the strongest among us. She's always protected us from the people of Kamifuji-yoshi and adults. Don't take her away from us. So that's how it was. I wasn't sure how she actually felt about Chiemi. There was definitely more trust and reliance than I'd expected. Yasunaga-kun spoke like he'd given up on Chiemi, but deep down he was actually glad she had returned. Haru-chan was aware of that, and she actually liked Chiemi. That was why she concluded that they should be together. However, it was clear she didn't feel like giving them her blessing. I understand how you feel. The end result depended on Chiemi, and since she hated Yasumizu, I felt like it wouldn't be something Haru-chan wanted. Then again, I really didn't know what was going on in Chiemi's head either, and had no idea who'd survive, so making predictions was a waste of time. For now, everyone should focus on ending the feast. I don't think I can do much, but if there's something you don't want to tell me, tell your own, I'm willing to listen. Huh? What do you mean? Nothing much, it just feels like you have a lot to worry about. And personally, I still think that escaping outside is a good idea. That's not possible. Didn't you try it yourself? But I failed, didn't I? That made me realise we can't escape. Isn't that because you just happened to hurt your foot? It didn't just happen. Do you believe in God too? What did you just say? God doesn't exist. If I doubted that, I just couldn't cope with anything. There was a weird aura around her for a sec, but then she walked away, leaving me no choice but to follow her. Abba. We arrived at the houses. The mysterious girl was on the verge of crying. Good morning. What's wrong? Ba. Speak normally. You know how to, right? Yeah. Come on. Be mature. Repeat after me. Good morning. Ba. This was hopeless. Haru-chan glared at her while I stayed patient. Where's Rikako-san? Oni-chan? Yeah, where is she? She hasn't come out. The house is right here. It really was. I've been here yesterday. I knocked and called out to her. There was no response. Haru-chan and I looked at each other and I tried opening the door. Huh? It was locked. Rikako-san. Still no response. I hesitantly put my ear against the door. I heard some sort of rustling sound. She's probably getting dressed. Then he really did. We don't know for sure. It could still be Kiyonosuke she. What about me? Well, I did expect him to live. Is Rikako-san well? She's all you care about, isn't she? And yes, she does seem alright. She's not out yet though. I wonder what's up. I had a bad feeling about something. Good to see it was nothing. Does this mean that the one to die was Yedi Yamawaki? Taiba was alive. What? Why was he so positive? Haru-chan, take Meiko to the dining hall. Kiyonosuke-san, help me out. He tried to say something, but decided against it. He must have realised what had happened to the one who'd usually been given these annoying jobs. As expected, the door to his house was unlocked, and the reek of fresh blood was so strong you could smell it outside. I thought that was enough to help me prepare, but once I saw the source, I couldn't keep down what few contents my stomach had left. The two from the first day, Kanzo Makishima and Yoshitsugu Uribe, they'd lost all semblance of form to the point their corpses felt unrealistic. On the other hand, Chikamochi Kamishida and the old wolf guy's corpses were far too clean. Their faces were still intact after all. However, Takumi Muro-san's corpse was an even balance between ruined and intact. It was spread out on the floor, surrounded by splashes and splotches of blood, as well as some bloody footprints. Scattered brain, grey matter, bone fragments, eyes. About 60% of his face was gone. This time, the method was clear. There was a rifle laying right next to his corpse. The weapon was actually on the scene for once, and it was a gun. What did it mean? I wanted to think about that, but I was too shaken by the clear agony Takumi-san's death had brought him. You could see his suffering on the still present half of his face. His hands were on his head too, as if to cover his face or reach for the clearly fatal wound. Oh my god, that's grim. He died by holding onto his shattered brain. Ugh. Though fatal, the first attack hadn't killed him instantly. He could still move after that, which was a testament to his strength and willpower. His life had ended as he suffered overwhelming despair. It was written all too clear on his death visage. My emotions bubbled and overwhelmed my thoughts. I vomited once again. Fuck me, that's grim. Are you okay? Kiyonosuke, she asked, clearly avoiding looking at himself. Bring me someone who can use guns, please. I never expected you to come along. Her expression was too stern and serious for me to even say that. Takumi-chan, shit. She cursed and looked at the gun. This is Kanjo-ji-chan's rifle. She grasped its long body and picked it up. All the 5 bullets were fired. See any entry cartridges? I'll look around. I found them real quick. They were covered in blood and flesh, but yeah, I found the metallic cylinders. 5 of them. They were 2 meters away from the corpse, very close to one another. Either the culprit fired from there or gathered them afterwards. Look at the handle. Chiemi extended the rifle to me. As I was told, compared to the rest of the gun, which had blood in every part, the handle was clean, like it had been wiped. They removed the fingerprints? Probably. Chiemi then held it like she was about to shoot, and aimed at Takumi-san's body. He was fired from here. How can you tell? The way the blood scattered. Look how it's concentrated around there? It's proof the culprit fired from a low angle. Also, normal rifles can't make such a huge mess unless they're fired from really close. But make it point blank and the stuff would get on and around the muzzle, the rifle would be even dirtier. And that was why it was natural to think it had been fired from where she was standing, near the cartridges. Can you actually aim and hit something with this? As long as you know how to aim and the target isn't moving, that's all you need. So this was done by someone who knows how to use guns. By the way, it's just a matter of looking at the bead through the sights. Guns are useful little toys that make murder so easy, anyone can do it. What about loading? That doesn't seem like something a layman can do, is it? Good point. But even Tei Bar-chan has experience firing a gun. Finding the culprit in Yasumizu won't be easy. This was a settlement where people went hunting. Basically everyone here must have touched a rifle before. All we could really assume is that Mako-chan couldn't have done this. It's not like every bullet hit the head. One grazed the ear, one the chest, one hit the shoulder. Oh, and look here, a bullet hole. She pointed at a small part of the floor that was ruined. So only one hit the head? Yeah, I think that one wasn't fatal though. It was probably the one in the chest that ended it. Oh god, that's great. Oh my god, that's just horrible to think about. She looked at the body's pose and made the same conclusion as me. Why do you know so much about guns anyway? I have a hunting license. I know how to use guns, traps and nets. I used to do lots of skeet shooting outside of Yasumizu. I'm pretty good with a gun. Well damn, didn't expect that. I can understand why. Did you plan to return here and become a hunter? I just wanted to have a gun, that's it. She said that as if it was no big deal. Her tone seemed kind of dangerous. Yeah, so much that she almost killed someone. I think having in middle school I grabbed a bat and beat up some students who were bullying the Yasumizu kids. It was the impression you get from a girl capable of random acts of violence. I was probably jumping to conclusions though. Can we clean it up now? If you're fine with it. Let's do it then. Did you find out anything? I'm now 100% certain that these murders were committed by people. The culprit used a gun and wiped off the fingerprints, acts that demonstrate a very human level of cunning. If we were up against something supernatural, they just use their mysterious powers instead. If something mysterious can be explained using mundane means, then it was caused by mundane means. That was a general rule I lived by, proven through both knowledge and first-hand experience. Supernatural powers that required carrying out occult rituals were prime examples of things it applied to. The more detailed the preparation required, the more opportunities to notice something amiss. If the trick relied on concealing the method, it was safe to assume the method was something mundane. Even this death wasn't caused by some kind of supernatural force. It just happened unobserved. We had people who could do it, and the methods that fit. That was the best way to look at it, right? Maybe you're right. You agree? I do think that it was done by people, I know, by actual humans. But didn't that go against her whole God story? I wanted to ask that, but seeing her eyes made me fall silent. Her eyes were wide and cloudy. But her lips out were clear words. No one. I looked away. I probably wanted to cover my ears too. Can escape God. I found her words so irrational, it began to frighten me. I asked Chiemi to call Kiyonosuke's sheet to help carry the corpse, but she insisted on doing it herself. I caved and we began the unpleasant task. Following Takumi-san's example, I removed the door and placed his body on it. Chiemi and I each took an end of the door and lifted it up. He was as heavy as he looked, and I wouldn't have been surprised if this was too much even for two men. However, Chiemi lifted her side without letting out a single grunt of exertion. It felt like an active rejection of the idea that she might need help. We slowly began walking. Kiyonosuke was outside. He was anxious about something. It didn't look like he was waiting for us, so maybe Rikako Uematsu hadn't come out yet. I couldn't afford to stop and chat. Relaxing my arms or lower body could lead to me dropping Takumi-san. I kept walking forward without a single word. Sighing and stopping was our sign that one of us needed to rest. Every time one of us did it, we lowered him to the ground, rubbed our aching hands and adjusted our grips and resumed walking. As we approached the cliff, Chiemi's expression grew darker. Takumi Nichan was the youngest of the adults. He was like an older brother to me. I wasn't going to ask how that mattered. I didn't see a point in questioning it. I simply nodded, continuing to play the role of audience. He played with me a lot, and always protected me when the other adults got mad at me. There's nothing good about this humid place, but he loved Yasumizu and the people living here. Yeah, I could tell. He was honest to a fault. Yeah. I don't want to just throw him away. Of course you don't. I don't like this either. Should we stop? The only ones who'd really care about this are Takumi himself and Tai-san, right? No, we gotta do this. Because of the corruption? Yeah. I continued asking if she was sure, but she didn't change her mind, so we ended up throwing his body into Saranaga. We walked through the graveyard, careful not to trip. We can now see the hanging pine through the mist. Our destination was near. We carefully closed in on the cliff and pushed the door towards it. Bye, Takumi Nichan. She said that right as I felt the body slide off. It was falling. I'd done this several times now, but it still made me feel empty. It would eventually hit the water, making a splash, and that'd be it. Huh? Did you hear the water? Not sure. Did we both miss it somehow? Or maybe the bottom of Saranaga opened up into a yawning chasm leading to Yomi. You're quite the imagination. No one knows what's beyond the mists. There could be anything out there. Should I go down and take a look? You won't return. That was how she saw the world. Let's go back. We returned to do another investigation into Takumi-san's house, but something strange had happened while we were gone. Kinosuke was still in the same spot, in front of Rikako Uematsu's house, waiting for her without even trying to hide his frustration. She still hasn't come out? No. You're the one who said she seemed alright. What made you think that? I heard sounds. Why didn't you call out to her yourself instead of just waiting? As if I could do something so rude. Why is she the only one you're nice to? Nasato is above Uematsu, isn't it? That was an interesting bit of info. I hadn't realised that the head of families had a hierarchy. It's only natural to be considerate of women. I'm a woman too, though. I don't see a reason to be considerate of someone so hostile towards me, do you? Please stop. We just finished putting her body to rest. That's probably one of the reasons why they were so agitated, but my comment was enough to shut them up. Though yes, I'm worried too. She might need help if she's sick or injured. We may have no choice but to barge in. How improper. Was he the type of guy to report someone who undressed a girl to give her a proper first aid? What was up with this guy's priorities? Uematsu-san. Rikako Uematsu-san. I bashed the door almost violently. I heard the sound of rustling clothes. Had she collapsed or something? Uematsu-san, I'm opening the door. No answer again, only sounds. Was it really Rikako Uematsu in there? Let's break it down. Break it down. Chemi nodded while Kinosuke gave a disgruntled sigh. The door was made from thin plywood and a wooden frame. Solid impact would break through. But we're going to find out what's happened in the next episode. So if you like this video, don't forget to leave a like in the section below. And if you want to see more of this, do subscribe to the channel, as I try to upload every day. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.